What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you a few of my favorite places to farm for legendary items early on in the game. Now initially when I was putting this video together, the main focus was going to be the Golden Pickaxe of Blistering, which is a legendary item that drops from the boss Pigwort. However, as I farmed this area over and over, I was getting a ton of loot, a few other legendaries as well, so I wanted to share it with you today. So first of all, we'll go over the location itself. Now there happen to be a few other tips I want to pass along, but we'll get into that in a minute. You can see by the footage we're at Mount Craw, and you want to fast travel to the location Furious Gorge. Now all you're going to do is when you load into the game, you're going to make a right hand turn and go to this location on the map where you'll find one of the many obelisks in the world. However, this one does have the boss Pigwort, and this is where you want to farm. Now one of the benefits about this location is that for some reason the boss cannot get up to this level where I'm showing you right now. So obviously I haven't activated the obelisk as yet. I want to show you where you want to be when the boss actually spawns, because when you're up here, for some reason, like I said, he cannot get up to the spot. So what I do is this: I activate the obelisk, I run around, I take out all the other enemies, and once I see him spawn on the map, I jump out here and just light him up. Now there happen to be a few important details I want to pass along as we continue. First of all, other enemies can get up here, so you're not impervious to all attacks. And secondly, Pigwort can still cast spells, so you want to keep a lookout for that. But to be honest with you, half the time he just stood still in one place, didn't fire, so again, it's incredibly easy to take him out. Now I want to say I started farming this area around level 15 or so. I got my first pickaxe at that point, and to the best of my knowledge, this is the only boss that actually drops it. If you've seen it anywhere else, definitely let me know in the comments section down below. Now the biggest benefit of using this is that while the rolls of the pickaxe may be different, you will always get the talent Golden Pickaxe, where melee attacks spawn gold. Whenever the Fate Maker picks up gold, it increases movement speed, spell cooldown rate, and action skill cooldown rate by 6% for 5 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. Now at this point, all you need to do, and most of you probably know this by now, but I'm going to say it anyway, you go to quit game, you leave, and then you load back in. And the best thing is you're going to respawn right by the obelisk again, so my friends, you can farm this spot over and over. As most of you know by now, this game has enemy scaling, so therefore as you level up, so do your enemies. Now obviously you want to get to endgame, that's where you really start to farm for certain items and gear. However, it happens to be really beneficial to do something like this every 3 to 4 levels, because sometimes you have a great weapon, and as you're leveling up, the weapon obviously becomes less powerful because your enemies are scaling with you. So what I tend to do is every 2 or 3 levels, I wind up going to a spot like this, farming, picking up loot, and going from there. Now I know I mentioned endgame farming a second ago, but one of the best things about this location, as well as the next one I'm going to show you, is you can do this at any point in the game. Yes, it does require a little bit of story progression, but once you get to this point, you are good to go, my friends. And the reason I started with this one is for those of you that are just starting back into a game like this, maybe you haven't played for a while, you're struggling with the build and having a hard time with the bosses. This allows you to farm the boss and mitigate the damage you actually take when you're doing so. Now keep in mind, if your character dies, you're going to spawn by the obelisk again, so if that happens, do not worry, you'll be back in that location. The next spot I'll be showing you today, my friends, is in the Shattergrave Barrow, and this is a great place to farm for not only great gear, but XP as well. Now it happens to be a much shorter turnaround, therefore you can truly stack that XP and gear at a much faster rate than the previous location. Now what you want to do is you want to go to the waypoint, the Nave Grave, and once you get here, you're going to drop down into the tombs and just keep running. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the reason I started with that last location is a lot of people were reaching out to the channel saying they were struggling with certain boss battles. Now, if that's the case, this is not the spot for you, because you have to go head to head with the boss. There's no escaping it whatsoever. However, depending on where you are with your build, if you have certain pieces of gear, look, we all know in this game, once you get that certain weapon or certain piece of armor or whatever it may be, it truly changes how you can attack this game, so hopefully you can hit up this spot. Now, as before, once you get to a certain point, it becomes your respawn location. Right here, you can see it's by the vending machines, and it is so helpful because you're going to be stacking so much loot when you're doing this method. You can then break the loot down, and it also gives you the ability to refill your ammo as well as your health. And as I start to wrap this video up, I do strongly recommend going to that previous location I showed you just so you can get that golden pickaxe, because it is a highly effective melee weapon. However, when it comes to efficiency, this is definitely the spot you want to hit, because you do not have to go through any waves of enemies. You can just drop down, take out the boss, reload over and over again, and the fact that there's a vending machine right there so you can keep selling your loot is just a bonus. Most of you know by now there are no shortages of ways to farm for gear and loot in this game. However, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I wanted to put something together for people just starting off or just jumping into the game now. I am absolutely addicted to this thing. It is so much fun, and I cannot wait to continue to bring you more content. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your amazing support of this channel, and remind you, if you have any questions or comments or feedback, please let me know in the comment section down below, as the main goal is to try to help out as many gamers as we can. This is going to be the first of many farming videos, my friends, so if you have any places you'd like to hit up, if you're a little further along in the game, let me know in the comments section. Please don't put any spoilers in there for people who are just starting off, and with that being said, we're going to wrap this thing up. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.